Hello everyone, welcome to Lighthouse Stamping with Lorraine. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Vancouver, Washington. Thank you for joining me. Before I tell you about the project we're going to be making today, you'll find all the dimensions and products I use listed below. You will also find a link to my online store if you need to purchase any products. And remember, if you purchase products this next month and a half, for every $50 you spend, you can get something out of the celebration book for free. If you have any questions about ordering, please send me an email and I will get back to you as soon as possible. You will also find my email address, link to the store, link to our Facebook group, and please remember to like, subscribe, share, and click that little bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video. So today we're going to work with 2 Torn Flora. This stamp set is beautiful and it's part of a huge suite, and I bought parts of the suite. I did not buy the entire suite. This part is all flowers and I just fell in love with it. But the other part of this I fell in love with. The dies are great. These are the dies that cut all the flowers and all the leaves. The other part I fell in love with was this die. If I can get it off the magnet. Hold it up to you. This die is absolutely gorgeous, and we are going to use this. We're going to use all the dies today. I have pre-done some of this, but I will show you most of it. So I'll leave this out for a second. Let me show you what we are making. We are making a navy blue card. The only colors in this card are Night of Navy and white. Ribbon, everything, Night of Navy and white. And it's got some dimension here. I'll try to turn it up so you can see the dimension on this. And then the inside is stamped. So it's a very simple card. It does go clear from the bottom to the top, but it has a 1/4 inch side on each side of that. And that's because I wanted to use everything on this die. And so that's where the die sits. So let's start building this card. I have already pre-cut this. Now, I have a Big Shot, and when I was making it, I was having, especially in a few areas, these smaller detail areas, I was not getting a clean cut, and I actually ended up shimming with actually a back of a 12 by 12 paper pack. I used that, so it's quite heavy, to shim that to cut it. So if you have an older machine, you may have to shim it, but it's worth it because it comes out beautiful. So I've already pre-cut it, and I'm going to show you that now. I'm going to actually bring out, it's just the envelope we're going to stamp on. You can see that. So when it does come out, it is so beautiful. So I would recommend, if it, pick it up, look at it before you take it out of there, and if you can't see clear cuts, shim it and run it through again. So that's the backing we're going to use. So there's the card and the envelope, and I'm going to set that off to the side, and let's get building. We have a standard card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, and this one does need to be burnished yet. I haven't done that. Okay, we have a piece of, now there's 2 pieces of white, basic white. They are 2 different sizes. Now, this piece, is this the one? This piece is 4 by 5.5. We are going to go clear to the top of the frame, and that's what we needed for this piece to go underneath. The other piece is our standard 4 by 5 1/4 because it's going on the inside. I need to measure to make sure that I got the right ones. So let's go ahead and do our stamping, and then we will assemble the card. So what we do need to stamp is we need to stamp our envelope and our insides of our card. And we need a stamping mat because these are polymer. And I'm going to show you how you stamp these. They are 2-tone. And we needed all the flowers. There is a lot of flowers in this set. I'm going to dig those out right now so you can see them. I didn't figure once I show you how to stamp these, you didn't need to sit and watch me fiddle with cutting them all out. But there is, I believe, 6 flowers. And we're going to use all 6 of the flowers. I did not use any of the leaves. I didn't think this card needed the leaves with the background because you can still see the leaves on this. So that's what we have. So we've got Night of Navy, the only color we're using. As you can tell, I've been doing some stamping off. So you have 2 stamps. Like I said, it's 2 stamping. I'm going to turn this one a little bit so it's a little easier for me to see. And when you look at these, I don't know if I can show you on here or not. You can see it on here. When you're looking through, you can see these little stamen. They're coming up from the flower. When you line this one up onto it, you can actually see this piece here, and you can see where the little stamens are when you look through it. It's really hard to see through here, but you can almost see it. And that's what I'm lining up, is right there. So let me try it and show you. But first, the inside piece, and you could actually go either way. I find it easier to do the inside piece first. I'm gonna stamp off, and then I want this one down in this corner here. And then I'm going to take full strength, and I'm going to line up the base. You can see where the petals go. And then I'm going to try not to get my head in here and line up the stamen. But almost every single one of these has a spot. If you look, I'm off just slightly, but it's okay. If you look where the inside of the petals are, like this one has a little V in here, almost every single one of them has a dot or a V you can line up. You're just not doing it through a camera. So that's that one. And then we need to do the envelope. We're going to come back to that in just a second. So I picked the little bunch of flowers. This one's easier because it has 4 little centers in the flowers. I'm going to push this down in the corner here. But there is a right way and a wrong way, and once you put it in here, you'll be able to see which way. I think it's this way. Try not to get my head in here too much. Nope, it's this way. So you're lining up the circles. Just like that. Lining up the circles in the center. And you got them that way. So that's that part. Now, there is a verse set that comes with the 2 foam Flora. It's part of the suite. I did not purchase that one. So I started looking around for other verses to use, and this is a birthday card. So I looked at Beautifully Happy, which is a celebration item, and we're actually going to be using this hopefully on Friday if I get around to figuring that one out. But this is the one I had scheduled to do on Friday. But it says for a very happy birthday, and that one worked really well for me. So that's what I chose. And if you've watched any of my videos, you know I am big on mixing and matching different things up. I'll put this towards the top. Just like that. The script is so beautiful on that. And we are done with our ink. So what I did is I sat there with all of my ink and a big piece of paper, and I just sat there. You can tell from the look, I just stamped off, stamped on, stamped off, and then I just sat and cut them all out. So it's really easy to do. It's just I didn't think you wanted to spend all that time watching me fiddle with the cutting machine. So let's go ahead and put the inside in first, and we'll get this card put together. Once you do all the stamping and die cutting, it goes together really fast. But I wanted to do an all navy and white card. But you could do this with any color you wanted. But this particular person I wanted to give this to, I wanted to do this. So next is this, has to go on the white. So what I found was the easiest, since I have my white ready to go, is I just come in here. There's a lot of big areas. So I'm just going around here, putting glue. It doesn't have to go everywhere, but you do need enough. the bigger areas get more glue. And my glue, just one moment, is gumming up on me. And I have to see if that works a little better. Let's not fight with the glue. There we go. I'm just putting a little strip along the bottom here. Then this hole has a nice big area. You can see where all the big areas are. And a little bit on. If we get some, we can erase the glue if we need to. And then you just go up around the sides here. Boy, my glue's being temperamental. And just getting very little right on the edges. So when you get to the top, there's even less room, so you have to make sure. Now you could have put a sheet underneath this, but I didn't think that was really that necessary because there was enough areas here big enough to glue. You see, I'm finding all the nice big areas. As long as you get a little bit around the sides, you will be fine. That should do. I'll put a little bit up on this one here too. So I just got glue on all the big areas. And gently, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to line this up. Try to get this as straight as possible. Like I said, with the, flip it over if you need to. With the glue, you have a little wiggle room. And then I'm going to pat it down, and I'm going to grab something to wipe the glue off my fingers. And I'll show you. We have a couple areas where I know I've already experienced this when I put the other one down that want to poke up. But it's easier to glue them down after you've got this set in place. Sorry, I got a big glob on my hands. So, this one right here, which if you don't mind it popping up, you can leave it. But if you put just a tad of glue right on that leaf. Oh, come on out. My glue's being difficult. And push that down, it'll be fine. As you can see, it hooks on there really quite well. So I'm going to put one flower on before we put our ribbon on, and because the ribbon has to go on next. I'm going to bring my flowers here. This big flower is going to go here. This one's going to go up in here. And make sure I grab the one I have. This is it's not the biggest one, it's the next one down. And what I did was, see this big flower here? This is how I use this. If you look at it, it will actually, if you turn it just right, it will actually cover up that flower. Look at this piece here and this piece here, and you line them up. And I want to stick that down first. We're just gluing that on. That will also hold all this in place too. So will the dimensionals we're going to be using. Get this back in the area. And I want to get this glued down because we're going to take some ribbon. And this is the Night of Navy ribbon. And it is in, I want to say it's the Regency Park suite. Look in the catalog. It's in one of the other suites. It's not part of this suite. But I've been wanting some Night of Navy ribbon for a while, and we finally got it. I like blues. So we're going to flip this over, and we're just going to trim off that little piece of the flower. And we're going to put some ribbon on this before we hook it to the card. Yeah, there goes I left that on there, but someone said leave them on there, but I'm not sure I like it that way. Someone said try it, and I did. So I'll make sure I have enough for tying there. And then I'm going to grab my seal. And I want to come over about a 1/2 inch, approximately. So I'm just put it on my grid. And I'm just going to run a little thing of seal. And this should be the bottom. I'll put that on there. I'm not pushing down on it, I'm just tacking it lightly. Just in case I didn't get enough ribbon up here to tie my little knot. Which I did not. I need to move it up just a little more. And then what I want to do is come around here and I just want to tie, I thought I did one with a bow, tried it with a bow, and I decided that I liked a simple little knot better than a bow on this. But you could do bow, it's you do what you want. But I thought the ribbon looked rather nice in here. There we go. And what I want to do is I'm going to grab a blue dot. And put it right under the little knot area. So it doesn't move around. And trim that up just a little bit. So we have that. And now this will go on the card. Remember I said it will go from the top and bottom about a 1/4 inch from each side. And yes, you can glue right over your ribbon. So I'm starting at the bottom. I'm looking at the bottom, make sure the bottom's even and about a 1/4 inch from each side. And then I'm pressing it down. Make sure it doesn't move anywhere on me. So there we have it so far. The reason you put this one in first is just easier. So now we're going to lay out our flowers. And what I started with is I laid out the flowers, just sort of fiddled around where I thought I wanted them. That one there, that one there. This one in the back, and then this one coming up. And then I decided which ones I wanted to pop up. And I decided I want to pop up these two and this one. So I'm going to put these two down flat. But you can lay them out any way you want. I mean, and I'm going off the page right over to the edge of the card. And what I'm doing is I'm covering up some of these bigger flowers out here. And then I'm going to grab some more dimensionals. Grab some dimensionals. And I'm going to put some on the back of this. And I'm going to put a few on here. And put this one down first. Set that at an angle. And you can tell where it's exact same as what's on there. You look at it. And this one, this is actually, that looks like this flower here, but I've partially covered it with that other flower because I wanted something underneath. But I'm going to tuck it so it's just under there, about like that. And then this one, he's going to come about like this, and I wanted him to overlap this one, and this one. So it ties the whole bouquet together, okay? And I decided I want this one to come over a little bit. Let's see if I can still move it. I hadn't pushed it down too hard yet. There, like that. Get some of these out of the way before they end up all over the floor. And then they get stuck in my cat's fur. When you have long-haired cats, you don't want dimensionals in their hair. Okay, so the next thing I wanted is I wanted some bling for this card. And I had just purchased these. These are called Enamel Dot Essentials. And I can't remember what set they were in. And I did not see these probably until my third trip through this catalog. They're not on a page you really think about going. You see all my notes. I didn't grab a new catalog. They're on page 31. And they're up here in the corner. And like I said, it's covered in sunshine. It's just not something that really stands out at you. But these are, there's 120 adhesive back dots, 40 of each color in 3 different sizes. It's Night of Navy, Crumb Cake, and White. Now there's that blue ribbon they use there too. And while I'm here, yeah, I was right. The blue ribbon is on page 31 in Regency Park. So, just so you know where I got those 2 items. But anyhow, I've been wanting some. I love blues, and I like Balmy and purple. I like almost all the blues, but I really do like Night of Navy. And it had the white. And so we're going to use both. First, we're going to use the little ones here for the inside of these little flowers. But you could use just rhinestones. You could color them with your blends. You could do whatever you wanted. But I do like these enamel dots. And then I wanted a larger one, but not too large. Put right in the middle of that one. Then we're going to switch to some white. I'm going to grab a large white one for the middle of this flower. And this too, I'm going to put medium sizes on. Like that and like that. And that is my navy and white card. I think it's pretty. I hope you go out and give this a try. You could, background-wise, you could use shimmer white paper behind it. Should tell you, I had made a stencil out of this. I tried to first make it out of my acetate, and it didn't work because the detail is so great in that it would not come out. And I'm trying to find the piece that I actually did make. And I know it's on my desk somewhere, so I didn't get rid of it. Anyhow, I will try to find it. But anyhow, I took embossing paste and embossed it colored it with Night of Navy and embossed it. And then I pulled the stencil off. It's a one-time stencil when you do it out of paper. And it looks really great, except the Night of Navy, I have shimmery paste. And the shimmery paste, basically, it has a lot of green tints to it. So that's why I didn't use that one. And I don't know what I did with that. It's a beautiful piece. It's very turquoisey. And so I didn't do that. So, but it was one of my ideas. I will find that, and on my next video, I will show you what it looked like. And I'll show you the card again so you can see. If you decide to do it with the paste, you can do it. You basically cut this out at white paper and, you know, mix up your whatever color you want to and use the shimmer paste. So you can use this as a stencil, or you could cut this out of just paper and then ink it and do the reverse of this. So that would work too. So there's lots of options to do with this, and I'm sorry, I had that here on my desk and it's grown legs and I can't find it. So I will show you on probably Friday's video. I'll show you the card again, and I'll show you the piece I did embossed with. But it gave me the wrong colors, and it did not give me the color I wanted. So that's why I didn't use it. So with all that being said, I think I will say good day and have a nice Wednesday, and I will see you on Friday. Ta-ta.